Attention, brave viewers. This video features adults immersed in a spine-chilling horror RPG experience. The content likely includes supernatural elements, horror-related events, and potentially scenes of violence. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy.
Well, howdy, friends and floorheads. I know I say this every time, but I've really been looking forward to playing this game with this table. Now, I've got to bring Kevin in real quick here because he was a late joiner. So let's go ahead and do that. But we are playing Shiver by Parable Games. If you are familiar with the podcast, you've heard both of the Menzies brothers on there and who've created this game. It is a slick game. I will be teaching everybody the mechanics of it. It is a straight up horror game, and it's a great example of a system that supports the play that it's meant for. Now, this is a scenario that is original, but I would be remiss if I did not show you the zine that I backed that my camera won't focus on. So this is Campfire Carnage. It's available on Exalted Funeral. What this zine gives you the ability to do is to create your own camp for a horror game. It's got some amazing ideas in it, some amazing tables. The camp that the four of these gentlemen are about to walk into was created using that zine. I took some other ideas from it, including the premise of having juvenile delinquents as the main characters. So hats off to the creator, Valkyrie. This is a wonderful resource for GMs. It's called Campfire Carnage. Go to Exalted Funeral to get it. Gentlemen, I think we should start playing. It is 6 a.m. on a Sunday. Yesterday, each of you was in a Mississippi juvenile detention center serving your sentence. Summer is starting to fade, and this crisp Mississippi September morning is beginning. You four are standing on the gravel shoulder of a single-lane dirt road deep in the wilderness of Mississippi. You stand on a path, at the head of a path that leads down to Camp Whispering Wind, which was built on the shore of Lake Evermore. In the early 20th century, a river was dammed to create this lake as a water source for several canneries, factories. They closed the factories back in the late 1940s, and nature started to slowly reclaim the land from the industrial blight. Camp Whispering Winds was then opened in the 1960s by a group of hippies. It was meant to be a place where kids could reconnect with nature for a week. Over a decade ago, the Mississippi legislature froze funding, and the camp was just allowed to sit here. For a decade, nature once again has decided to reclaim the blight that was here. Each of you are in your orange inmate jumpsuits. You're under a canopy of the deep woods because you accepted a deal from the Honorable Judge Ezekiel Stone. Now, he sentenced each of you to juvenile detention after you were convicted. Judge Stone is notorious for harsh sentences and strange interpretations of judicial power. Now, after some time in detention, Judge Stone offered you a deal. He promised to commute your sentence, expunge your records, and save you from adult prison if you fix up this camp and prepare it for the campers that are supposed to be arriving next year. The Honorable Judge Ezekiel Stone believes today's youth spend too much time playing their Nintendos and watching that Beverly Hills 90210. And if kids spend time in the woods learning the value of a good day's hard work, he believes a whole generation can be saved. Now, it's not just the four of you. There's a fifth. Judge Stone assigned a park ranger, Jim Bo Jenkins, to this detail. He's a park ranger. He's in his early 30s. His spare tire that peeks out from under his park uniform and his premature hair loss and his forming comb over make him look a little bit older than he really is. He was handpicked by the judge to ensure that each one of you take care of everything on his list. You have a week. The detention bus will be back in 7 days, and if you're done, you're free. At your feet is a sack. Each one of you was given one by the bus driver. The sack contains a change of clothes, a mess kit, a pack of matches, a flashlight, and a sleeping bag. You can see signs of the camp down the hill, the winding path ahead of you. And then beyond that, you can hear Lake Evermore. The dust from the gravel as the bus goes away fills the air. Standing there is Ranger Jenkins. He's got his shotgun with the stock on his hip, the gun pointed in the sky. You can see hanging on his belt, he's got a stun baton. He's got a hat on to cover his losing hair. All right, you shrimps, you got a lot to do. And the day ain't getting any shorter. Now, I'm going to give you a list that the good Honorable Judge Stone gave to me. And he pulls out a manila envelope, kind of a legal-sized one, the kind that has the string that ties into a figure 8 to close it. He's having a little bit of trouble getting it undone, but he does. He pops it out, and he hands you a list. And on that list, I will show it to you. From the desk of Honorable Judge Ezekiel Stone, here's what you need to do. You need to dust and clean both the kids' cabins and the canteen. Restore power to each building. Fix the roof of kids' cabin A. Make the Chancellor cabin livable. Collect canoes from Shears Island and return them to the pier. And then eliminate the rat infestation in the barn. Bo Jenkins kind of looks each one of you up and down. I'm imagining maybe Jamal, you're the tallest. He's still a good half head taller than you. He's a pretty tall man. He stands there and he's kind of holding the gun with the stock in the crook of his hip. Come on, you shrimps. Let's get getting.
All right, I guess we better grab these bags. At least they could have took us up to the campsite. Now we got to walk. Man, this is some BS right here.
Ranger Jenkins, where are we supposed to sleep?
Hey, all I know is we're going to have to figure that out. I got a sack just like you do. All they gave me was a sleeping bag. So I think one of the first things we need to do is figure out which one of these damn cabins is fit for us to lay down in. Maybe we got some beds and stuff in there. How about instead of standing here at the top of the hill, let's walk down towards the lake. Let's get to this camp and let's see how much work the four of you got ahead of you.
Oh man, it's such a beautiful day out here. Come on, guys. Can you smell the air?
All I want to do is smell. All I want to do is smell freedom when we get done this week. I'm ready to go home, and the first thing I'm going to do is take a long, hot bath and eat a cheeseburger.
Jamal, remember, I said don't trust anybody. that wants stuff from us.
Well,
This
yeah, but it's a week to get out.
who says we're going to get out?
Want to get out?
There's no paperwork. There's nothing.
Oh,
Wanna
dude,
be
come
okay.
on.
Just grab your bag and let's go, man. Come on.
It's fine.
First, just go.
Scooter looks up at Mr. Jenkins, goes, I know why I'm here. How did you draw the short straw to babysit us all week?
Sir, short straw? Are you kidding me? Pfft. You don't even want to know the bonus that Judge Stone's giving me for this. Because, secrets be told, started dating his granddaughter about 4 weeks ago. Within 2 weeks of getting kissy face with her, they got me out here with a nice sweet bonus, and I get to sleep under the stars and watch you 4 shrimps get this place nice and picked up.
Sounds more like the judge was trying to get rid of him.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, no kidding.
Don't tell him. Don't blow him. Don't blow it up.
Don't burst his bubble. All right, guys.
He's happy right now. Let's just keep him as happy as possible because that shotgun looks like it's meant for business.
He's
I
just
grab
a
my sack and I
pussycat.
just start walking. I'm heading downhill. Come on, boys.
I'm walking and kind of weaving in and out of the woods just a little bit,
Okay.
seeing what might be in the woods.
Well, I think what's interesting is you start heading down that path. Of course, the sound of the water of the lake is slowly getting louder. You're looking down at this path, and I'm sure at some point this was kind of a nicely manicured path that kind of led from the up top. Maybe there's a parking lot at some point, a gravel parking lot at the top of this path, but that's long gone now. And what's a little odd is how dark it gets as you start to head down the path. The morning sun can barely make it through the thick canopy of this forest. And as you work your way down, there's all kinds of different trees that make up this forest. There's some pine trees, some southern red oak. Tony, as you kind of weave your way in and out, you seem to catch something out of the corner of your eye, and you turn your head and look, and you just realize it's just the kind of the skeletal nature of the branches, and they're just kind of moving, which is causing the light to shift a little bit. There's nothing out there. It's just the way the wind's blowing and the way the light's working its way through. Now, the ground under your feet, kind of wet, kind of sloggy, and Scooter, you're kind of annoyed by it a little bit, right? It's just like, oh God, muddy freaking soil. And then you remembered the dust from the gravel when the bus pulled away. And you kind of look at, the trees and the branches and some of the leaves, and man, they look dry as hell. Like it hasn't rained here in weeks. That soil sure is wet.
I sidle up next to Scooter. Hey, Scooter, you know what grows in this wet ground?
What?
Shrooms, man. This place was run by hippies, dude. Think about it.
You're freaking right.
Yeah.
All right, you bob and weave that way. I'll bob and weave that way, and maybe we can find some locations where we can get some more shrooms.
Yeah, I think we need to slip old Jimbo some.
I think we need our first roll. So let's talk a little mechanic. I'm going to bring up Tony's character sheet and walk everybody kind of through the way that this works. So the mechanics of Shiver are pretty cool. You'll notice if I bring this over here, you can see that there's basically 6 attributes or skills. You've got grit, wit, smarts, heart, luck, and strange. There are 6 of them because there's 1 for each side of a 6-sided die. So the dice in Shiver are 6-sided, and they are all identical. They all have one of these symbols on one side. Now, this is going to be a smarts roll for Tony with a challenge rating of 1, with a CR of 1, which means he's going to roll all the number of dice that he has in smarts. And if any of them come up with that yellow brain symbol, that'll be a success. He only needs 1 success to find the mushrooms. So real quick, Tony, how many skill die do you have in smarts?
Well, Tony's got 2 because, like his dad said, he's a dumbass.
Okay. let's go ahead and let's roll our smarts.
righty, here we go. Got a luck,
All right.
though.
So you rolled 1 grit and 1 luck. Now, everybody has this option. Whenever you roll luck, assuming you're not rolling it for a success, right? You're not actually rolling luck. You can bank that luck. Everybody can bank can bank 1 luck. You can spend it at any point in time to add a die to a roll. But Tony, what archetype did you choose?
Well, Tony's the fool, so Tony relies on luck. In addition to being the fool, he's also the stoner of the group. So he's kind of the bumbling, fumbling dude that everybody loves, and he's one of the luckiest people alive.
So with no successes, Tony, you're kind of slowed up. I think Scooter's kind of behind, poking around as well. And neither of you are really finding shrooms. But Tony, the point you brought up is a valid one, which is this is prime for finding wild shrooms that could potentially be mind altering. The breeze shifts and you start to smell the lake. It smells kind of stagnant, though it can't be because you can hear it. Now, September in Mississippi, still pretty damn hot. But it feels like the closer you get to the water, the deeper you get into this forest, the farther you get from the road, kind of the cooler things get. And as you're winding your way down this path, you see a clearing up ahead. And it's your first clue that nature has decided that this camp doesn't need to stand any longer. Because you can see this clearing has what at some point must have been a huge fire pit. And it looks like it had benches that were installed all around it. But none of the benches are intact. Most of them seem to have been crushed, broken. In some cases, many of them are just completely covered in strands of fingers of vines. Hard to tell whether something fell on each of these, somebody came by or something came by and broke them, or did just time and rot and these vines just slowly tear them to pieces. The beautiful stone lattice work that must have been in place at some point to define that pit, you can just barely tell that there's a small indent. And there's really not much sign that a fire's been here in over 10 years. As you get closer, you come to the main area of the camp. Now you can tell if you were to go straight across this main clearing where this fire pit is, you would start to head down more towards the lake. In fact, now for the first time, you can kind of see the water, the blue water reflecting the light as it's slowly peeking through the trees. Now the less as you're getting deeper in the forest and getting closer to the lake. You think about the list that Ranger Jenkins gave you, and things are starting to come together a little bit. Because around this clearing are all these buildings that were mentioned. You got the counselor's house, where obviously the counselors must sleep. That's on your list. You got to get that place fixed up. It's 2 stories. It looks to be the only 2-story building. Behind that, there's some sort of shack. Maybe it's a caretaker shack or something. It looks like a utility shack. Next to that looks to be a barn. And the barn is pretty damn big. Looks to be a good 20, 25 foot tall at its highest. Next to that, we see the canteen, place where everybody's eating. You can tell because you can see the broken and decayed picnic tables that surround it. And then you see 3 small cabins. These are likely those cabins A, B, and C that you heard about. This is probably where they had the kids holed up.
I can't wait to take a dip in that lake. I haven't swam in, I can't even tell you how long, Jamal.
Well, listen, I'm from the city, and I don't know what's going on in that lake, but I'm not going in there barefoot. I can tell you that right now. That's how you get hookworm.
Hey,
That's how you get hookworm.
Don't worry about that. I'll teach you how to swim. I mean, I didn't make
I can,
varsity.
hey,
I
hey,
didn't
hey,
make
I
varsity
didn't say
swim
I,
team at freshman.
I
You
didn't
know,
say I couldn't swim. I'm just saying that I'm not walking barefoot in the lake. You know, it's because I run these hands. Because I'm 2-piece.
all right. So then
Don't mean I
you're
can't
not
swim.
going to help me get those canoes from the island. 'Cause
I'll help.
I'm
I'll
gonna
help.
help you.
I want to
I'm
go.
gonna help you get to. Look, I'm gonna help everybody because we only got to, make it through a week, and then we're home free. I got a bath and a cheeseburger waiting for
Tony, it's gonna eat time out of your hunt for fungi.
me.
What do you mean? I mean, it's an island where hippies were, and nobody's been there in years. What the hell do you think's going to be there?
Oh, my
Come on,
goodness.
dude. Use your head.
Yeah.
I'm just.
So Ranger Jenkins, he finally makes it down. You guys way outpaced him. He took his sweet, sweet time coming down there, and he comes to the clearing where the four of you are discussing what's next. Looks around, he goes, "Holy shit. There ain't no goddamn way the four of you are cleaning this place up in a week." Woo-hoo!
Told you, Jamal.
Listen. We're going to do this. It's just we just got to work hard. That's all we got to do. One thing at a time. One thing, we got a list. Let's just work the list. We work it all together, and then we just bang out one thing at a time. Now I'm really worried about the restoring the power part because I'm not an electrician. So
Where the four of you shrimps figuring we're gonna sleep tonight? Because I sure as hell ain't sleeping outside.
Mr. Jenkins, I'm thinking where the counselors are. That they would take care of that more than where they throw the kids out to, right?
Like how you think. What's your name again?
My name's Scooter, Mr. Jenkins.
All right, Scoot. I think that's some good thinking right there, Scoot. I like that. I like how your brain was, hey, Scoot. My friends call me Bo. You can call me
Bobo.
No, you can call me Ranger Jenkins.
All right, Ranger Bobo. No, Ranger Jenkins. I'm sorry, Ranger Jenkins.
Well, if you are going to fix it to go into that counselor's house there, figure out where we're sleeping tonight, I'm going to probably stay out here. I don't want nothing sneaking up on us. I don't want nothing kind of, surprising you if you go in one of these buildings. So I'll keep guard out here.
Jimbo's afraid of rats.
I just like to put that out there that just because his last name is Jenkins, we're not related. I'm just putting that out there.
Wait a minute. Are you sure? You sure?
I'm pretty positive,
I know there's a mom joke in there, but I'm afraid of you. You might kick my ass.
We don't want to start doing the dozens, my friend.
I don't think he really cares about watching his back or our backs. I heard some bottles clinking in his bag. I think he's got some other business while he's out here for the week.
Hey, we should try to get some of
His
that.
business could be some of our business. Catch him sleeping. We might be able to take some of that right there.
Scooter, why are you always trying to work an angle? We're like in the middle of the woods. We're in the middle of the
That's the
woods.
best place
That's
to
what I
be
do.
clinking bottles. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and I mean, good grief, it's
Listen.
just amazing.
All right,
let's get in
I'm
this
gonna
place.
I'm gonna go check upstairs to this counselor's place and figure out what kind of crap we're dealing with. Hopefully, this floor is not deteriorated, the roof's not deteriorated, but I'll head on up and see
I'll
if
go
I don't
with you.
fall through. I'm the heaviest one
Hey,
here anyway.
Hey,
I'll go
Craig,
with
what
you.
are there like bar sounds? Cicada, crickets. It's not like
You've got it definitely sounds like the woods, right? So nothing's really standing out. And when you first got here, Jamal, it was really obvious, right? You could hear that din, that sound of the bugs and the frogs and just the stuff. But it's weird. And if you've ever been in the woods, you know how this is. You spend like 15, 20 minutes in the woods and suddenly you almost don't hear it anymore, right? It just becomes this din in the background unless somebody points it out. Now, if you were worried about there being no wildlife or anything out here, like it's quiet, almost too quiet, not the case.
okay.
I think if anything, Jamal, your note that seems odd is what I kind of pointed out, right? That it seems a little cooler than you would expect, but hey, you're near a lake. Things are cooler near a lake, right? And the wet ground's a little odd. I think the thing that stands out the most for you, though, Jamal, is there ain't no goddamn way you're cleaning this place up in a week. Because you were looking around at these buildings, and it's just like, my God, look what can happen in a decade when you allow nature to reclaim.
I'm staying optimistic. And, nature has its way, but, we are here to conquer nature. So let's just get settled in. First things first. And let's just get to work. Did they send any tools with us, or they just sent us with? Oh,
we got to fight the rats in the barn for the tools.
So Scooter, I got Scooter and Tony are going to head towards this counselor's house. What are Jeffrey and Jamal doing? Are we going to make my life easy and separate the party? What are we going to do?
I want to
the gameplay.
I've been incarcerated for over a year. I was on the team. I haven't swum in such a long time. I want to get
down to the lake.
Yeah,
I'll go watch his back because the buddy system.
All right. Yeah. So the two of you head down to the lake, and Ranger Jakin goes, now hold on a second. Now you give me a yelp if something happens down there. I'm gonna stay up here, keep guard, make sure nothing comes down that path or nothing.
We're just going to check this. We're just going to go check to see where these canoes are, because I think that's probably the easiest part of the whole day.
All right, good. Yeah, you're supposed to get them off some island or something. They're like, you just give me a whoop, and don't be going into the water if you can't swim, right? Because I can't swim, so I ain't rescuing you.
I don't like the way everyone's assuming that I can't swim, but it's okay. It's okay. I understand. You're from Mississippi. You don't really, I'm just saying.
Jenkins, you didn't let me bring my trophies with me inside, but I have enough of them to say that I can swim there and back with no big deal.
All right. I'm just saying, if it turns out, Jeffrey, you can't swim, I ain't coming in after you. Apparently Jamal here is our championship Olympic swimmer. Maybe he can help you.
My father spent a lot of money on swim lessons for me. So
I'm kind of mocking him behind him. He's back.
You see Jamal and Jeffrey head down towards the lake, and as you start heading down, you can see that there's another ramshackle building there by the lakes, probably a boathouse is your guess. But let's stick with Scooter and Tony for a second. You guys kind of walk up to this counselor's house. Like I said, the second tallest building here. The barn is slightly taller, and this is definitely the only 2 stories. The paint's peeling. There's obviously the front windows were broken out at some point, but they're boarded up. And the wood on the porch is just warped with time. You get the kind of feeling that the ground is a little uneven. It's almost like the ground is kind of pulled down by the weight of this counselor's house. Like slowly, maybe this counselor's house is getting pulled in. You can hear the wood in the walls kind of just groaning, even though nothing's moving. What's a little frustrating when you start thinking about the list of to-dos is you look at the door frame, but there ain't a door. So it might be one more thing to add to the list.
Oh, fantastic.
I bet Jeffrey could make a door using karate or something. I bet his dad paid a lot of money for it.
We'll just, if this works out, we'll just put Bobo right there by the door, and he can guard the door all night if this is where we decide to sleep. But my God. We'll give it a good old big guy strength test. I'm going to go on those warp boards and slowly pace myself out there, see how it reacts, and then start popping up and down and kind of hearing some noises, checking for integrity of that area.
And you do that. Seems to be all right. The wood that you're kind of jumping up and down, it's protesting, but it's holding you. It's holding you. As you look in through the door frame, you can immediately see the layout of the first floor of this counselor's house, and it's all one big common room with a staircase in the far back leading up to a second story. The floor is riddled with debris, broken up furniture, leaves that have obviously blown in here over the last 10 years have been left there to just kind of rot on their own. Probably the one biggest thing that stands out is the couch on the far left wall. It at some point you would guess it was red. Huge couch, probably could seat 7-8 people, but the critters and time have gotten the best of it. So whatever cushions existed there, they've all been torn and shredded. You can see pieces of the cotton just around in the different piles of debris. Everything has this really, really nasty kind of urine smell that is just permeating from here. Now, the floor above you, the ceiling, which is the floor on the second story, the ceiling looks in pretty good shape. Every single one of the windows is boarded up. Who's got higher smarts, Tony or Scooter?
Let's see. I'm a 3 in smarts.
That beats me.
All right, Scooter, give me a quick smarts roll.
Quick.
All right, we got one success. Scooter, you happen to pick up on the fact that the wood that has these windows boarded up has got to be at least, I don't know, 7 years younger than the other wood. It looks like this was maybe put up maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And the boards that are boarded up each of these windows is not nearly as old as all the other wood you see laying around.
Tony, you catching this? There's someone may have. Are we the first people out here? Tony, do you know? Did Officer Bobo mention anything about other people coming out here to try to fix this up? Because
He didn't mention anything, but I don't think he knows. He doesn't even know he's being punished. But
fair point.
I'm starting to think Jeffrey's right. Maybe we're not going to get out of here, go home. I think we're probably going to just end up being set up, and we're not going to get it done.
So
I don't know how to fix a roof. Do you?
Can't be that bad, but no, I don't know.
So the ranger didn't, or the ranger didn't tell you. Old Jenkins didn't tell you this, but one thing that was told to you is that there would be a pallet of supplies to get you through the week, loaded up on the back of the canteen and the loading dock at the back of the canteen. So you were promised food and water, right? And that's supposed to be in the canteen itself. So Scooter and Tony, this place is a wreck. There's really no place where you can actually see the floorboards. Everything is covered in animal feces. Anything soft is now wet and just soaked and has that urine smell. There's natural woods and branches that have blown in here. This first floor is in pretty bad shape.
I don't know about you, but I wonder if there are any Fritos back there at the canteen.
Oh, that'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, let's go to the canteen.
Yeah.
Screw this place.
Yeah.
This is where
Let's go
Bobo
back there.
sleeps.
I think it's his mom's house.
Scooter and Tony, you step out, and Jenkins turns around, and you see him quickly put out a cigarette. He goes, "Well, how's it looking there, boys? We fixing to sleep in there?"
No.
I'm not sure.
Well, is all your work already done in there? You weren't in there long.
But we were thinking maybe you'd like to go in there and work a little bit.
Nah, see, I got clear instructions. I need to keep you kids safe. So I'm going to stay out here, make sure nothing sneaks in on you. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that pathway, make sure no critters come out of that lake coming up this way. So and I ain't the one with the to-do list. Whether you guys get your shit done or not, I'm going home to a warm bed laying next to my new girl. This is all on you.
I hear you, Ranger Jenkins. I just don't think we're able to. There's too much debris in there. I think I even saw some nudie magazines in the back that I'm just trying to stay away from, and I kind of nudged Tony, like maybe he'll go back there. But it's not. We're not able to sleep there, so we're gonna go over to the canteen and see if there's any better areas.
We're looking for
to sleep.
We're looking for broom, right? We're gonna find a broom, right? Broom.
Yeah. I like that way that brain works on you there, Scoot. We better check out. We gotta make sure we got the foods and stuff they said they're dropping off for us.
Yes, sir.
I get the feeling you got the family brain, son.
I hope not, sir.
So let's cut to Jamal and Jeffrey as they continue down this path towards the lake. Any conversations before we get to the boathouse?
Jamal.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're so positive, Jamal. I don't know why you're so positive.
Because positivity rules the universe, sir.
You're killing me, Jamal. You're killing me.
Well, just like
I live in the real world. My dad said
you
that
live
you have
in
to
your
live
daddy's
in the
money's
real world.
Okay, the real world is not just give somebody some cash and everything happens.
Well, obviously not, because look where I ended up.
Right, exactly. So, I understand that you can probably swim around the world in 80 days, but we all stuck here in this camp.
Well, there was that one time we took that cruise when I was 14. Like, it was pretty dope, man. Like,
see,
we went around
you
the world.
You remind me of the kid who pushed my mom down the steps, and that's why I'm here.
Stop with that.
I'm just saying.
Come on.
It's the real, but I like you. I mean, you're here with us because you like to do extracurricular, with your daddy's name. So you're one of us. You just regular folk. So
when we get out, which is not going to be a week from now. Remember, I said I'll hook you up. My dad will hook you up. We'll have jobs when we get out.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But my dad he's an over the road trucker. So, he's trying to start his I'd rather you help my dad out. He's trying to start
I don't think your dad and my dad are going to get along.
And there it
is. So, as this conversation continues, the path gets pretty steep. So there's kind of a bit of a drop off almost as you start getting closer and closer to this lake. And you can see the remnants of what is obviously a boathouse. And you look out over this lake and you figure it's got to be a good mile and a half wide. Now, you know that this is a dammed up lake. You know that it was built way back when the factories in the 40s, they put a dam in place. In the 50s, they converted part of the dam to be an electric dam, a hydroelectric dam. And that a river continues on past the dam. So the only reason this thing exists is it's man-made. And, they talked about in that to-do list to get the canoes from the island. And you can see that island. You can see that there's a tiny little island, a good 3/4 of a mile from where you are. And it looks like it's got some trees and stuff on it, but it itself does not look more than maybe a diameter of maybe 50, 60 yards. So it's not very big. Now, the boathouse, I'm sure at one point it had a roof, but that's long, long ago. And I'm sure that at some point the entire dock was out of the water, but it looks like only about half of it's out of the water now. Most of it has been slowly just sunk back in. So it just, from the boathouse, it just slowly slides and disappears into the water. There's no paint or anything left on the walls of this boathouse. And as you kind of turn around the corner, you see the back of the boathouse gone. What you do see, though, is a boat. Like an old aluminum dinghy. Like a poor man's fishing boat. Attached to that boat appears to be an outboard motor.
See, Jamal, you don't have to swim after all.
I'm just saying. Yeah. Why is there a boat out here with the motor on it? If this place this place has been shut down forever.
Jamal, just let's go get these canoes. I want to get back to our cells 7 days from now. I'm just going to try to enjoy myself while we're here. Let's not try to guess everything, second guess everything.
Okay. All right. You know how to drive one of these? Because, I'm sure your dad gave you boating lessons too.
I mean, lessons or, whatever. Or I just take it when I feel like it. But we don't tell them all those times.
Okay. All right.
All right. See if there's gas in there. I'm gonna go find you a life jacket. I'm gonna go check the house.
Here we go. Make sure you find two, and maybe one that's got a little lead in there for you. Help you swim a little. Give you
All right. Just see if there's gas. All right. I'm gonna get some rope too in case we got to tie all these canoes back on this boat.
Yeah. Okay.
So you guys start heading towards the boat, and Jamal, you're kind of ahead of Jeffrey, and you notice a few things as you get closer to this dinghy. One, you can see that it's got a pretty thick chain attaching it to the concrete pillar. That's kind of like the beginning of the dock. It's got a huge ass lock on it. You can also see in like a large plastic bag, there's something on one of the seats on this dinghy, and the huge white cross on it makes you think maybe it's like a med kit or something.
Okay.
What really stands out though, I'm pretty sure that's a harpoon gun.
Oh.
On the bottom of that boat. Let's cut to the canteen. So we've got Scoot and Tony walking towards the canteen.
Scoot. That's sticking, isn't it? Okay. I'll get used to it.
As you walk up to this is really a long house. It is single story. It's got to be at least 70 yards long. Pretty big. It probably could easily feed over 100 kids at one time. You can see picnic tables along the outside. It has a door. That's something. None of the picnic tables are in any condition where you'd actually could sit at them. You can see the engraving of a half of a sign that has like a bowl with a spoon stuck in it, but it's almost falling off. And the majority of the sign, if there's anything written on it, is long gone and broken away.
Oh, Tony, look at this place.
Tony. Oh yeah, Tony's with you. Yeah.
Should we try the door?
I'll be here if you need me.
You think they leave this thing unlocked? Surely they don't lock the place up in this thing.
I wouldn't think so. But we need to find some
lunches. You want to bet on it? You want to bet on it?
What do you want to bet?
We got some of that stuff if you want to.
Well, I'm going to share with you anyway.
Fair. $1 when we get out of here. $1. Let's bet.
$1. Okay.
All right. I bet it's locked.
I bet it's not locked.
Oh, I'm so glad that worked out. Let's go.
Dude, you're ruining my vibe, man.
Come on, man.
Scooter, you walk up to this thing and you can see it's got like one of those old wood cheap screen doors, and the breeze is kind of causing that screen door to kind of go clink as it kind of clanks into the door frame, but the door frame's warped, so it doesn't stay there. It just pops right back out again. And son of a biscuit, you look right down at that door, and not only is it not locked, but it's not even closed all the way.
I grab it and go, it's locked.
It's not locked. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I could see it wasn't locked. God,
right.
You're such a butthead. Hey, you want to go round back and have a toke?
Duh. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna kick that door. Just want to see what the hell's behind this door. I'm gonna kick the door open and see what's behind.
So you kick the door open, it flies, hits the wall, starts to head back to you, and you kind of stop it from hitting you in the face. And you can see this looks like maybe it's 2 rooms. This main area is obviously the dining area, and it's just a series of rows of long tables. Now these tables are in actually pretty decent condition because you look up and you see that the roof really has probably held up a lot better than some of the other roofs that you've noticed here. Some of the furniture is broken. All of these windows are boarded up as well, and maybe boarded up around the same time as the windows in the counselor's house. The glass of these windows, though, is still piled and scattered around the grounds. What looks like in the far back, based off of the serving counter that is there, is that maybe that's the kitchen.
Tony, you want to go through or around? Because I see the kitchen back there. I guarantee
Let's
that's
go.
where the...
Let's go through.
Okay. Start
They've
walking in.
got to have chips or something back there.
Oh, absolutely. Or some cereal. Oh, some cereal.
you
That
know
sounds
what?
great.
We should find what we like and then hide it from the rest of them.
I beeline it. When I hear that, I stop bullshitting and I go straight back.
So you start heading back there, Scooter, and the smell of the place fills your nostrils. It smells like kind of like a mold, like a wet wood mold. It's kind of a hint of like bad meat, rotting meat, maybe. Looking around, you don't see where it's coming from, but you can almost hear like a dripping water. And as you kind of work your way down the hall, the aisle created by these different long benches. Tony, you right behind him?
Mm-hmm.
Scooter, you turn and, on the tables has been nothing. Like every once in a while you saw like a metal plate or a rusted fork. But on the right-hand side, you notice something on a table, but you're not close enough. And as you start getting closer to this thing, you realize what the hell you're looking at. How much time have you spent outside, Scooter? You an indoor kid or an outdoor kid?
Oh, indoor kid. Not much exercise with Scooter.
So you don't have a real strong sense of how big a raccoon is.
No.
And if you were an outdoor kid and had seen a lot of raccoons, you'd look at this thing and you'd go, that's a big fucking raccoon. Because it's the size of a small dog. Now, luckily, it isn't on 4 legs. It appears to be on its back. It also appears to have been gutted open from its throat, across its chest, down its belly, all the way to its tail. And not something that maybe a wolf or a fox or something did, because it's a straight cut and the skin is peeled back and nails pin the skin to the wood table. And if there was guts inside this thing, they're not there anymore. You can see the red stain of where the wood soaked up the blood that came out of this huge raccoon. All of that has to make you stop, Scooter. And once you kind of stop moving and you start taking it all in, you go, you count the 4 legs, and you notice a middle set of legs, like not fully formed, immature on both sides of its body. We're going to take a 10-minute break and then do a fear check.
Damn
We'll
it.
be right back. So, Scooter, you're standing there looking at what it could only be described as a mutated, very large, dead raccoon that's been dissected. So fear checks, the way fear checks work in Shiver is the Scooter is going to roll strange. That's what everybody rolls when they have a fear check. Scooter, what is your archetype?
I am weird.
No, in your
My
archetype, your
archetype
character.
is weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I knew that was coming, Craig. I knew it.
So,
Applicable to both, but whatever.
as part of weird, you not only get 5 die in strange, but you also get what's called a talent die, which is an additional die that's given only to a few attributes, and it varies based off of the archetype. And this is an 8-sided die that you'll roll, in your case, with strange. And half of the 8 sides have successes, and some of them have 2 successes on it. The other half have strange on it. So having a talent die is great unless you fail the roll, because that greatly increases the chances that you are going to be rolling strange on a fail. And we'll see if what that means if that were to happen. So let's do a fear check, Scooter.
All right, let's have some fun.
Roll me some strange. 3 successes.
Yeah.
The 3 strange you rolled don't matter because you succeeded. That's actually where your successes came from in this case. And then 1 luck. Now you have the ability to bank that luck. So go to your character sheet up there by your age is where you can put a 1 for luck.
Perfect.
What I need to know is how a 16, 17-year-old kid who's an indoor kid, not an outdoor kid, walks up on this extremely large rodent with its guts emptied and dissected and an extra set of mutant arms along its side. How the hell does Scooter not lose his shit?
Scooter thinks he's having an episode that he's trying to hide from his friends. And so he's going to play it off like it doesn't exist. And so he's just kind of, this must be something that Tony either fed me, drugged me with, or I'm having an episode, so I'm just going to keep on keeping on. Ignore it like it didn't exist.
And as Scooter walks away, ignoring it, Tony, it's when you see it. So you knew you weren't going to get away without one. So let's get a fear check from Tony when you see what I described. Same thing, just roll strange. 1 success. So we understand Scooter denies seeing the whole thing in his head, right? How does Tony keep his head about him?
Tony is 100% convinced that it has something to do with aliens. And to him, that's not a big deal. He thinks that something did some experiments on it.
So Scooter walks away from it. What's Tony doing?
Tony backs up pretty quickly and gets pretty serious and reaches in his little pouch of things, and he's going to smoke a little bit.
You're going to light up? Scooter, you get a whiff of that as you're starting to keep heading towards the back.
Just like Pepe Le Pew, I'm turning right around, and I'm going right back to it.
Do you think they're still here?
Who?
Whoever did that.
You see that?
Yeah. Do you have... What did you take, dude?
Give, and he yanks the joint out of Tony's hands, and he doesn't puff pass. He puffs and puffs and puffs.
Hey, Cher, come on, man.
I'm sorry. Hands it back.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know, Tony. Is this for real now? Is this what I'm seeing?
I think so. Where did the extra legs come from?
I don't know. But I'm really hungry right now. Can we go see if there's corn chips in the back?
Yeah, let's do that. Hey, you know what we should do?
What's up?
We should plant this thing in Jimbo's backpack.
I'm not touching it, bro. But I agree. I think you should. That'd be amazing.
Okay, and I puff a couple more times, and it's nailed down though, dude. How am I going to get it out?
Not my problem, man. I just
I just,
oh
oh, it stinks, man. I got raccoon juice on me. Here,
And
you want to smell?
no.
Tony, you're not a veterinarian, right? But
Mhm.
here's what's obvious to you. This didn't happen yesterday, right? You can tell because the blood is not only dried but kind of soaked into the unfinished wood of the tables. But it didn't happen a decade ago either, because if so, there'd only be a skeleton of this thing here. So maybe happened within the last 2-3 weeks, you'd guess.
Okay.
But it's definitely got the rot smell, right?
I think there's something about, kind of smoking and getting that mellow feeling, and also being with Scooter, who's one of my friends. It just takes some of the edge off of it, that I originally noticed, and now the jerk part of Tony kicks in, and he wants to do something stupid with it. He doesn't really think about. Yes, I understand that it happens soon, but it's not hitting me yet. So I take it, and I'm just kind of carrying it by one of its legs. And I'm kind of dragging it along with us. I guess we're going to go back and look.
Yeah, you're going back to what you assume is going to be the kitchen. Let's cut to Jamal. Jamal, you're standing kind of on the beginnings of the dock before it starts to really slant down and kind of disappear into this lake. You're looking down at this dinghy. You're looking at the outboard motor, and you're no mechanic, but thing looks like in pretty damn good shape, all things considered. And yeah, definitely a med kit, right? You know what tips it off? It says med kit on it. It's the harpoon gun loaded with a harpoon that really caught your eye.
Yeah. So I call. I'm rarely reluctant to call to Jeffrey because I know he's going to have a story about some went harpoon fishing off the coast of Santa Barbara with his dad. I really don't want to hear that. But I really want to. I check out the med kit, see what's in it.
Bandages, band-aids, some antiseptic. This would have been a really nice thing for them to put in those sacks they gave you.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking that.
He'd give you a quick smarts roll.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, let's just push that clock ahead. But I'm going to use my my talent, my trait, which is do ex machina, where I get to re-roll any skill check and add an additional die.
So that's once per quarter on the Doom clock. So you'll be able to do that 4 times during this adventure.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and use it this time?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So you're gonna hit smarts again.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna add a die. So I think you originally rolled 3 die. You're gonna add a die after you click on smarts.
Okay.
Let's give that a re-roll for the survivor talent. Deus Ex Machina.
Take it roll.
Might take, sometimes it's a little delayed on Foundry if you hit roll. We'll give it a second. Now, the one thing that I was watching for here, and I could tell Troy was watching for too, is rolling is strange. So let's talk about another mechanic in the game while we wait for his roll to come up. If at any point someone rolls and fails, but also rolls strange, you'll notice in the center of the overlay, just under me, there's this clock. And it's got 60 spots on it, 1 per minute. When they fail and roll a strange, for every strange symbol, I'm going to fill in one of those dots. Once they fill in the first 15, they get to the quarter hour. A bad thing's going to happen. They fill out 15 more of them, They get to half past the doom clock. It's going to get worse. At quarter of, I've got events set up that are really, if they really don't want to get to quarter to midnight. And God forbid, after quarter to midnight, if they live long enough and roll bad enough to get to midnight at the top, ooh, that might be the last episode. So it's a really neat timer that's built into the Shiver system. It's something that creates, I think, a really neat sense of suspense, and it's part of the reason I've been really excited to play this game. Jamal, we got your roll. You got a success.
Yes.
You grab that med kit. I've already put it into your inventory. You should see it under items.
Okay.
It's zip locked. You kind of undo the zip lock and you look at it. And as you're fumbling through it, looking at all the contents, you catch embroidered on the inside of the med kit something that maybe somebody else would have missed. Maybe you missed it first, but then looked at again.
Right.
And it says U.S. military, issued 1989.
Well, I called Jeffrey over after I pick up the med kit and find this military patch. Hey, Jeffrey.
Yeah, is there gas in that boat?
Yeah. The motor looks fine, but it's locked. But I found some other stuff. Come check this out.
What's it? A fishing pole? Jeez. All right. Yeah. Well, what do you? Oh, cool. Harpoon gun. Hey,
Yeah,
there was
but,
this time in Barbados. What?
Jeffrey,
You want to talk?
Jeffrey,
I'll show you how to
right,
shoot
right
it
now,
one
not
day.
right now. Listen. I also found this first aid med kit.
Yeah, if you play around with that harpoon gun, you might need it.
Yeah, but look at this. Look at this patch.
All right, military med kit. You know, like
It's from 1989. It's like 2 years ago, if you can't do math.
Yeah, Mr. Smith. There was I should not get a D in that class. That was BS,
Well,
man. That was BS. But
Well,
anyway,
maybe your dad should have paid a tutor or someone to take your class for you. Just saying.
yeah, she was hot, man. Oh my God, I didn't do much studying, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I can not imagine
Anyway.
that. Okay.
Anyway,
Clear your browser history.
yes, whatever that was in 1991. Yeah, so military kit. So what? So somebody was out here hunting or something. I don't know. I mean, like, it's a lake. People.
Yeah, but no one's. I'm just. But okay, well.
You never
let's
hung
forget
out in
about
the
that.
woods. You never just like you and your buddies went out and. No.
No. That wasn't part of our whole adventure thing as a family. I was training to be a boxer before I got, put away.
My cousin's in the army. I mean, he sends me like MREs and stuff, and I don't know. Maybe it's just some hunter. Or you're like overreacting, man. Like,
okay, but here's the real problem. This boat that we found that looks pretty good. It's got this big A chain with a padlock. So let's go look in the boathouse.
It's like a hunter locks up his hunting stand, like when he's not using it. He doesn't want like people like us to come along and take his boat. I mean, we're going to do it, right?
We're going to need this boat to go get the canoes, right?
Yeah, well, maybe there's something in that shed that you can wallop this chain with, and this concrete looks kind of weak. We might not have to break the lock. We might just be able to chip this out of here.
All right, well, let's go see.
Dude, it's either that or go swimming. And I'm not against swimming.
I know you're not against swimming. I'm not against swimming either. I'm just saying, let's go check it out. If we don't have to swim, let's work.
All right. Don't worry about
got a
it.
week to get this whole place.
Gun staying in the boat.
I'm going to stash that. Actually, I'm going to pick it up and stash it into the ratty boathouse for now, until I can find a better hiding place.
Yeah, you find a pretty good place for it, Jamal. There's a bunch of debris and kind of broken glass and stuff from this boathouse, and you kind of move it away, and it's an easy place to put that in. And you look at the gun, and though you may have never used one in Barbados, it doesn't take a genius to realize, one, this thing is only a couple years old, and it's in pretty damn good shape. Now, there's no other harpoons. It looks like it's just a one load, but and if there was a rope attached to it that attaches to the gun, like most harpoon guns would, that rope is not attached. So this thing's like a spear gun, if it is anything, and you kind of stash that away. Let's cut back to the canteen as Tony and Scooter start working their way back, and as you anticipated. Well, what you didn't anticipate, Scooter, is that Tony was going to bring drag the body of this raccoon with you. But as you did anticipate, you see this kitchen in the back of this canteen. And it's a pretty good sized industrial kitchen, a kitchen that was built to feed 100 some odd kids, right? Now, obviously 10 years ago, it looked a lot nicer than it does now. Most of the cabinets, the wood is rotted off. You can see the wood that was the cabinet doors on the ground. Many of the wood tables that served as counters, those have been rotted away as well. If there was food in here at some point, it's not there anymore. It smells old and kind of rotten. But you were promised in the back of this canteen near the loading dock, and you can see that loading dock from where you are, you were promised a pallet of supplies to get you through the week. Luckily, you see that pallet. You see the pallet. It's wrapped in this plastic, this black plastic. So you can't see what's in there, but this is new, right? This was dropped off just recently. And as you walk up to that pallet, Scooter, you see another pallet next to it. That pallet's rotted away, though.
Tony, you see this second pallet here, right? I'm not imagining that there's an old decrepit pallet sitting next to a brand new pallet.
No. What's in it? Want to find out?
The new pallet's got stuff on it, right? And it's kind of wrapped in that shipping plastic, but the old pallet is just the pallet. It rotted away.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing left of it. It's just kind of the wood is the base is there. There must have been another party here prior to us coming here with the wood, different color in this. So,
I'm starting to think
It's
Jeffrey's right.
I guess so.
Don't tell him that, though.
I know. I'm more worried about telling Lou he's right, let alone Jeffrey. This is a kitchen. There's got to be a knife around here. Let me go see if I can find a box cutter or something that we can cut this plastic off and try to open this thing up.
So, Scooter, you start poking around and you find some utensils. A lot of them are all kind of rusted away, not looking so good. Until, still wrapped in plastic, you find yourself a nice chef's knife. So that, luckily, being wrapped in that plastic, it's really endured however long it's been here. It's in pretty good shape. I've added a knife to your inventory. You take that knife, you cut the black shipping plastic, it peels away, and you see a stack of supplies. You see jugs of water. You see a bunch of dried pasta and rice, like single serve boxes of cereal and oatmeal and powdered milk. Looks like canned meats, like canned tuna, canned chicken, potted meat. Kind of checking it out. Yeah, 5 people could live 7 days off this. They wouldn't gain any weight, but they wouldn't go hungry.
Tony, what looks good? What are we keeping?
I
The
think we
cereal
keep.
looks amazing.
Yeah, I think we keep the cereal. And then I don't want any of that potted meat.
Ugh. I'm gonna take some of the cereal since Homeboy's still carrying a freaking rotten corpse of an animal.
You got a couple choices, Scooter. Which cereal are you taking with you?
It's got to have the sweet marshmallows. That's
Lucky Charms?
they just melt in your mouth. Yeah, 100%.
Nice.
100%. Tony likes the kicks, though.
I don't like kicks. I like life.
Raisin Bran. I'm gonna find a corner, something that I can just throw some of the stuff over there and not take all the cereal, but a good chunk of it. Not good, but
You're making a scooter stash.
a scooter stash.
Yeah, kind of setting that up. Let's cut back to the boathouse real quick. Jamal, you're able to find a place to hide that that harpoon gun. You and Jeffrey are kind of kicking around the rest of this boathouse. This boat is inside of the boathouse, right? Because the boathouse extends out over the lake. Man, you're finding rotted wood. Whatever metal is in this boathouse is long rusted. So if you're looking for something like a crowbar or some way to kind of break that lock or start chipping away at the concrete that chains around, there's doesn't seem to be anything here.
Looks like I'm swimming.
It's like we're swimming. I keep telling you, you can't. I know you're making a. Listen, Jeffrey, we're going to have. Listen, I can swim.
All right. You don't have to prove
Olympian.
anything to me. You don't have to prove anything to me. We're
I'm
pals,
not trying to prove anything to you. We're good. We're good.
It's all right. But you're going to have to keep up, though. Like, I'm not going to, once I start getting that stroke down,
That's what your mom said. But anyway. But anyway, now, I guess we're going to have to go. Are we swimming now? You want to wait till later? I mean, you just want to go get these boats now? And
you look down, and I already have my shoes off. Like, I knew this was happening.
Don't take your shoes off, man. You're going to get the hookworm.
Dude, this is happening right now.
All right. So
going down to our skivvies?
Oh, that's
going
it.
Down to
Absolutely.
the skivvies.
That's it.
So we see Jamal and Jeffrey go down to the skivvies. Jeffrey's barefoot. It sounds like Jamal might be keeping those government issued kicks on.
No, I'm going to take them off. I'm not trying to be dragged down. I can't have Jeffrey saving me.
I don't know what's feeding this lake, but this is Mississippi, mid to late September. And whether you're from Mississippi or not, the water's supposed to be a shipload warmer than what this is. It is cold. You start working your way in, you kind of go in with confidence, and then you're like, I'm going to kind of take my time a little bit. Let the body kind of assimilate to the temperature of this water. You get ankle deep. Work your way. It's got a stony bottom, so it's not real fast, right? And bare feet, you got to kind of navigate the stone, and it's murky, so you can't really see your feet anymore. You get about knee deep, and you get to that point where, do I keep walking or do I start swimming, right? So you start getting to your waist, and each person's different when they stop walking and they start swimming, and fish start jumping. And they're kind of jumping around you at first. And then Jamal, one hits you in the back. And you kind of turn around when you get hit in the back, and you know it's a fish because you heard it and you've been seeing the other fish jumping. And Jeffrey, if you've ever been near a lake at your summer house, this is like if there's maybe some bugs flying around the surface, fish would jump out and get the bugs. But this is weird. This is strange. And then you feel the fish kind of running into you. They braze against your legs at first, and now they're kind of hitting your legs.
Dude,
No,
like, what
sir.
the hell?
I'm backing out. No, sir. This is. No, I'm good. I'm good. If you want to go swim with the fish, go ahead. I'm out.
They're probably just startled because they're walking in. I'm just gonna start swimming. I mean,
Okay.
this is ridiculous. It's only a mile, dude. I'll be there in no time. Just make sure you find some rope or something, because we're gonna have to tie these to this boathouse or what's left of the dock.
Jeffrey, I don't think this is the most positive idea that you have. I'm just saying the fish. Look, I watched enough National Geographic. I never seen fish do like this.
This is how you make the swim team, and I just go.
So Jamal, everybody watching this horror movie thinks Jamal is the smart one right now, right? There's a bunch of 13-year-old kids watching this movie going, "What are you doing?" Jamal smartly backs out of the lake, and we'll get you to about ankle deep, and you're yelling Jamal to Jeffrey like, "What the hell is going on?" Jeffrey, you start swimming. Can't feel the bottom of the lake anymore, but you keep feeling these fish. And now it's like they were jumping and kind of like you were in the way. Now it feels like they're hitting you. So as you're kind of doing the breaststroke, kind of swimming, keeping your head up, like what hits you in the side a little bit? It's like, what the F? Like, and then you get hit in the side again, and it's kind of affecting your swimming a little bit.
I'm definitely a little nervous, and now it's like I got to get to the other shore as fast as humanly possible.
So we're gonna go to the next quarter mile. And we're just gonna start swimming.
We're gonna go as fast as humanly possible. It is a little weird, but I can't back down in front of Jamal.
That's legit. That's legit. Let's cut to the canteen. We've stashed our cereal, Scooter. Tony, you've got your souvenir.
I named it Jeffrey.
We've got
like a puppet.
Jeffrey the six-legged raccoon.
Might need a replacement.
Might have two dead Jeffreys here in a second. I'm gonna start opening. I imagine it's one of those chain roll-up doors on the back of the loading bay. I'm gonna start opening that up, trying to get some fresh air.
It was already open.
Oh, it was already open. Okay. I'm gonna step out back and figure out what's on the backside. Is that, I think, where the kids camps are at, or is that
so? Yeah,
the lake?
you can see off to the left of the canteen. You can see the back of the kids camp. Right, there's these three kid cabins. Right, if that's the counselor house, then the only explanation, even though you're not sure of it, but it's a damn good guess that these three cabins are for kids. The swing set, the rusted swing set, kind of tips you off a little bit. That's next to there. You can see behind each of these kids' cabins, there are shower stalls as well as some outhouses. So yeah, that's probably what you're looking at there. And then if you look over to the right, you're seeing kind of the backside of the barn. And then if you look ahead of yourself, you can see the trail that I Can't Sink Jeffrey and Jamal went down.
Can we hear them yelling or anything like that?
You
too far away.
No, you could hear some muffled voices as you know, Jamal was yelling at Jeffrey to get the F out of the water. Yeah, I'm sure you wouldn't be able to tell what Jamal was saying, but you could tell it was Jamal.
I look over to Tony. Did Jeffrey get in? Does he know that Mississippi has gators?
I doubt it. And if he's not careful, Jamal's going to kick his ass, and it's going to be funny.
Do we need to run down there and try to save his ass, or do we just let this happen?
We could go down there. I could introduce him to Jeffrey. He'd probably think that's funny, don't you think?
Scooter actually finds that the reason why we need to go down there is to show him Jeffrey now. So let's do it. And I start kind of scooting down towards the lake. Yes, scooting. And make my way to where we hear the muffled voices.
So I've got Tony and Scooter and dead Jeffrey working their way down the trail headed towards the lake. Alive Jeffrey, you're swimming. The water is not nearly as cold as it was when you started to work your way in. Your body has kind of gotten used to it. Those fish are steep. Fish keep hitting your thighs and your calf muscles, and they're hitting you in the side and the ribs a little bit. They're not hurting you, but I'll be damned if it doesn't feel deliberate.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm concerned. I am definitely concerned.
Yeah. And if you weren't concerned, whatever's wrapped itself around your leg, whatever's colder than the water that you're swimming in stops you from swimming. What it feels like, because you can't see anything in this murky, muddy Mississippi water, what it feels like is a snake. That a snake has now started at your ankle and just worked and wrapped itself about halfway up your calf, stopping you from being able to kick as you swim. Guess what I need, Jeffrey?
Fear check.
I would love a fear check. That's a great suggestion.
Jeffrey. So that is going to be strange.
It is strange. Do you have any luck banked? Have you rolled yet?
No.
No.
But snap out of it is one of my abilities, and I get to re-roll hearts for my fear checks.
Very nice. So you rolled one heart.
Yep.
So let's do a couple things. One, let's talk about your archetype.
Okay. I am the socialite, and more specifically, my background is the jock. If you guys have not guessed that already.
Got it.
But yeah, I'm the guy who talks my way out of everything, and I think everyone in the room likes me, and my daddy's got some money, so.
And heart is your strongest stat, right? So this is kind of a cool ability. So you rolled one heart. So just go down to the die roller, the dice tray, and just hit a 1d6, and let's use that as your reroll. Let's see if we can't get ourselves a.
But that's going to give us a number, right? And then I have to.
Well, but we'll be able to see the die. We'll see.
Because I can change the heart to just roll one, right? I can do that.
Or you could do that as well. Just do it after you click on it.
Yep, I got it. So here we go. One. And I took away my talent, so it should just do one. Or not.
So while we wait to see if you pull a success out there, you did not roll any strange, but you did roll a luck. So go ahead and bank that luck.
Yeah, that I want.
Go ahead and add that to your character sheet. Let's put that luck on there.
That is on there. Okay.
And let's watch.
Anticipation.
The one thing I'll tell you is anybody who watches this channel knows I'm a huge Foundry guy. Foundry, this happens a lot less on Foundry than it does on Roll20, but it does happen on Foundry where you roll and you have to kind of just wait for it to work its way through. That's a perfect time for us to cut to Scooter and Tony. You're coming down. You can see Jeffrey's head. He's maybe a fifth of the way there. You see Jamal's back. He's about ankle deep in this water. You can see this broken down boathouse. You see the back of that outboard aluminum dinghy. You can see the outboard motor on it. As you come up, you're within earshot of Jamal.
Well, if anybody's seen the 1995 Heavyweights movie, Scooter's out of breath. He is wheezing. He's probably louder than they were yelling at than Jamal was yelling at Jeffrey. So he's not talking. He's trying to catch his breath. He is exhausted, and he's just out there, just hands on his knees, just trying to catch his breath.
I told you, you should have been working out with me. I'm saying, Scooter, come on now.
It's too much work.
Listen, I think our boy is in trouble out there. He stopped swimming.
I kind of ignore that.
Said gators.
I ignore that because, hey Jamal, look at this. I found Jeffrey. Look at that, and it's even got 6 legs.
What the heck? Dude, what are you carrying the dead raccoon about?
Jamal, guess what I need?
I thought it was
Yeah,
funny.
thank you.
Let's get that fear check, Jamal.
The fool.
And we
was
roll
trying to
strange for that, right?
You do, sir. You roll strange.
All right. Ooh.
Right, no successes. So I need you to do a few things for me. You see your status up there is stable right now?
Uh-huh.
Can you change that? What does it change you to? What's the next step down?
It changes it to afraid.
All right, so you go from stable to afraid. I'm going to go ahead and add afraid to your character sheet real quick. So give me just a moment. Hey, there's our die.
All that anticipation for 0 successes.
So do me a quick favor there, Jamal. Go to your traits. You should see afraid on there.
Uh-huh.
Jeffrey, you also failed a fear check. That's going to give me another mark. We're 2 minutes in the doom clock. You also go to afraid.
Okay. Just not great.
I'm gonna add that. Did you find afraid there, Jamal?
Yeah, I clicked it.
Yeah, would you click on it? Would you tell everybody what afraid means?
I'm sorry, hold on. About that, hit the wrong button here. I know I roll in, get minus dice now.
Yeah, so if you go there and look at it, you'll see that what afraid does.
Yeah, you succumb to your fear as you as it invades your mind. When you are afraid, you temporarily lose 1 core skill point from every core skill to a minimum of 1 until you are no longer afraid.
So let's start with Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you feel this thing wrap around your leg. What do you do?
I start flailing. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? And you guys see me like just splashing. I'm stopping in the middle of the water, and it's irrational flailing.
And literally at the same time, Jamal, you're seeing this 6-legged, well, really 4.5-legged raccoon that's been obviously torn open and gutted. What is your reaction?
Well, I think I kind of, when I first see it, I think of it as a cat, a large cat. And that's one of my fears. So I freak out because when I was 11, a stray cat scratched me very bad on my leg, and I got a bad staph infection. I almost lost my leg.
Ooh,
so
Jesus.
I freak out, I kind of back away, almost fall back into the water and say, why are you carrying around a dead cat? I don't understand why you're carrying around a dead cat.
I thought it's a raccoon. I thought it was funny. I'm sorry.
It's not.
Jamal, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And I think Jeffrey's still in trouble out there.
Yeah, you guys all see water splashing up. You see Jeffrey yelling. You can't make out what he's saying, but he's flailing around. Jeffrey, I'm going to need a contended grit check from you. I'm trying to think dramatically what would make more sense. I think dramatically I want you to make your grit check first.
Okay. Excellent. This would not be a feat of athleticism, would it be? No, this is me.
Oh, I think so. Definitely.
Okay. So then I get an extra talent die because that is my ability from being a jock.
Excellent.
Anytime it's a feat of athleticism, I get +1 talent die. So
what you're going to want to do is click on grit, and then you have the option of adding a talent die to that.
All right, and I have to -1 right now.
You are -1 on the skill die because you're afraid.
I will subtract 1 from there, so I only have 2. And let's roll. Nice.
All right, so the star on the talent die, along with the other grit you rolled, gives you 2 successes. Whatever's holding on to you is going to go ahead and roll, though.
Holy crap.
And it also rolled 2 successes. So you feel this thing start to pull down on you. And your chin is now like, you've kept your head above water. Your shoulders are kind of above water. Now your chin is right here. And you feel this thing pulling down on you.
I yell, Jamal! Jamal! It's got me! It's got me!
I told you not to go out there. He's part of the crew. I got to go try to save him. So
Jamal, don't do that. Jamal, don't. What about the boat?
Hey, I got the boat's locked up. Y'all try to get it unlocked. I'm going to see if I can help him out.
Scooter, what are we gonna do?
So we see
I gotta
the
find a rope.
the water splashing as Jamal is just running now, not even paying attention to the fact that the stones are hurting his feet as he's going, and we see the water splashing as he slowly goes from ankle to knee to hip deep, and then Jamal, you start swimming towards Jeffrey.
So what I would like to do is the other part of my snap out of it is once per quarter, I can roll a CR heart check to lower an ally's fear status by 1. So I want to try to give him his stable back.
All right. So narratively, I need to understand what's happening. You're flailing right now. You see Jamal running towards
Yes.
you. You heard him scream, right? Even through this, you don't know what the hell scared him. You haven't met the other Jeffrey yet. You don't know what scared him, but you can see on his face that his fear is not just the noise that you're making.
Yeah. So I am hoping that distracting him by coming to save me is going to get the thoughts of the big spectacled cat with 4.5 legs out of his brain.
All right, so let's do a CR1. Let's do a CR1 heart check.
Okay. So I pull my dice back.
You're going to be did you do the -1?
I did not.
All right, but your talent die gives you enough anyway.
Okay.
No, I give you 2 strange.
No, I had but I had 2 successes.
Yeah, you had 2 successes, so you're fine. Jamal, you snap out of it. You're going to go back to stable. You can go ahead and delete the afraid. I do need to know what Jeffrey says that brings Jamal out of it. So Jeffrey, you yell what to him?
So I glance. I know his fear. I mean, we're pretty tight.
All 4 of you are tight.
Yeah, and maybe I saw that thing over there, and I'm like, dude, it's not a raccoon. It's not a cat. It's a rat. Dude, just, I need your help, man. Come on.
What do you think snaps you out of it, Jamal? What makes you just forget about that damn raccoon?
Just saving a buddy. I mean, we came in together. We got to leave together. You know, he may be a little on the toolish side, but he's still part of the crew.
He might be tool adjacent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the life jacket comment.
Yeah. Now you need my help. So now it's kind of like that. Oh, now I can swim now. Now you need my help. Oh, okay. Where's your life jacket?
Not only that, but like we saw Jeffrey kind of doing, a little bit of the breaststroke kind of cautious swim. Jamal straight up goes into the crawl and just beelines it towards Jeffrey. Tony and Scooter, what are we doing as we're seeing Baywatch here on the coast?
I'm kind of freaking out and trying to find it, see if there are any life preservers or anything like that. Trying to find something that'll float. Tony's mind, he's going to get one of those things and try to go out and save his friends.
Let's go ahead and let's do a smarts check real quick. If we could, Tony.
Oh, no.
No successes, but you gave me a strange. So on a failed roll with a strange, I'm going to add another tick to our doom clock. That puts us at 3 minutes on the doom clock. You're poking around, and all you're just finding is debris. There's a pile there that Jamal left. For some reason, you just kind of pass over it, so you don't even find the gun itself. Scooter, hands are on your knees. You're still kind of bent over, trying to finally catch your breath, and you do that. And all of this is unfolding. Tony's run off to go look for stuff. Jamal is swimming like a bullet towards Jeffrey. What is Scooter doing?
Scooter's not a great swimmer. He floats well, but that's about it. He's gonna start screaming for Bobo. Ranger Jenkins! Ranger Jenkins! Man down, man down!
Jamal, you get to Jeffrey.
It's got my.
What's got? I come up behind him and try to, do the lifeguard and pull on him. So I'm like,
who's got the higher grip between Jamal and Jeffrey?
let's see.
I have 3.
I have a 4.
All right, beautiful. And do you have a talent die also in grit?
Yes.
All right.
Actually,
So
I
here's
think we have 2 right now.
yeah. So Jeffrey, here's what I want you to do. We're going to do an assist action. We're going to have you assist Jamal, right? So Jamal's the one that's going to try to pull you free of this. You're going to assist. So just go down and just do a 1d6 for me, and let's see if you can get a grit.
Just roll the 1d6. We'll do it the right way this time.
Yeah. The one that doesn't take 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So assist means nothing. That's not a fail towards it. But Jamal, let's get a straight up grit check. I need to see, and then we're gonna roll against our friend in the water.
Okay, here we go. Saving Jeffrey.
Saving Jeffrey.
All right, so we got 1 success. Against no successes. So you pull in, Troy. You grab and you give one yank, and the tip of your toes as you're treading water. First, you hit Jeffrey's calf, and then as you're kicking, you're hitting below his foot, and you hit that thing, whatever that thing is, and you feel it against
your. What the hell is this?
And you almost using the leverage of your toes, you dig into whatever this thing is, and you do a counter force. And we can feel this slimy, cold thing just slowly let go of you, Jeffrey, as you get pulled away by Jamal.
We start swimming back to
let's get the hell out of here.
The boathouse.
You guys start heading back to the coast. Tony, you're not finding anything. Scooter, you're yelling, and you're seeing his feet. He's starting. Old Ranger Jenkins is making his way down, but he's hopping, maybe skipping. Doesn't look like a run.
It's a light jog. It's a little saunter.
Yeah. He gets within sight, so finally his head comes up under the canopy, right? Because he's coming downhill and it's pretty steep there, right by the lake. He goes, "What the hell's going on down here? What you guys all yelling about? What you taking a swim? You two? Those two? What is you freaking out about there? Scoot.
They went and they were yelling, and they and I look over and I see Jamal and Jeffrey finally making their way back, or treading water. Let's get them out of the water. Let's get them out of the water. There's crocodiles here. There has to be something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to stay right here because you never know what might be coming down this trail. So I'm going to make sure nothing comes down this trail while you need to go save them boys out there. So yeah, I'll make sure nothing comes down this trail. He's holding his gun there, like cocked against his hip, and he looks over to you, Tony. He goes, "Hey, did you go coon hunting?"
I thought you might like to meet Jeffrey.
Fear check.
Screw you.
So
he
only saw the back of this thing, right? And Tony, as you turn around, he sees the front of the thing, and he goes, "You sick mother sucker! What the hell?" And he kind of pulls back. What'd you do to that raccoon?
I didn't do anything. Scooter, tell him. Scooter, I didn't do anything.
No, he didn't do anything. Bobo, we still got drowning kids out here. What are you worried about this raccoon for?
Well, you better get getting then. Stop showing me the raccoon you skinned and tore. Well, I don't know what the hell you did to that thing. But yeah, go get your buddies out there. There's a lot of work to be done up here for Judge Stone.
Look at Tony and say, "Tony, throw the raccoon at Bobo. Let's go get in the water and help these guys out." And just kind of smirk.
And I do exactly that, trying to launch it right at him.
We see the carcass fly through the air towards only my friends call me Bo Jenkins. And he turns around and heads back up to the clearing. Doesn't say nothing, has no interest in this dead raccoon. And we get to the 4 of you. 2 of you are dry. 2 of you are very, very wet. right at the kind of the shoreline of Lake Evermore.
Jeffrey,
What
what
does
the
my
hell
leg
happened?
look like? What does my leg look like?
Your leg looks fine, so it's not bruised or hurt in any way.
I'm like, it had me. It was wrapped around my leg. I don't know if it was a snake. I
I told you not to. You wanted to be all, hey, I'm on the Olympic team. I can swim. Yeah, you
but
almost
there's no
drowned out there.
snakes in the pool.
Right, exactly. As soon as the fish started hitting you in the back, that should have been a warning. But now,
There's no.
listen. Now you owe me. I saved your life today.
Oh my God. We're playing
The
this
guy
game again.
who you wanted to give a life.
This game
jacket
again.
to. Oh, always. It's never over.
Where you two been the whole time?
Trying
Yeah,
to-
exactly. We know. I can smell it. I can smell where you've been. I've been trying to like knock things off this list. Not that it matters.
I gave him the double bird, even though we're friends.
It's-
And I walk over to Jamal. Jamal, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
Play too
I
much.
thought it was.
I told you, stop playing too much. This is how you almost got beat up in the yard. You play too much. Just saying.
yeah.
Well, his mom did like barn animals.
What?
You know, Eben.
Dude, you're out of your mind. Scooter, I can't handle Tony
This
right
is-
now. I really can't. You know,
I'm just saying, but Jeffrey, but on a serious thing, you all right?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I just let's go
Scooter
back to the
quickly
cabin.
interrupts and goes, guys, and he's sweaty at every fold of his body. Anybody else hungry? It's hot.
I think
there's food up there. There's a pallet with some stuff that we're supposed to be eating. Can we just get up there and eat? I think it's that time.
It's just
Yeah,
It's
I can go for some drink of water and let's go eat. Yeah.
just
we could get Jimbo
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey and let him eat that for lunch.
I don't think we tell him that we found food. Screw that
We
guy.
don't-
He
no,
didn't care
we
about
don't.
our safety.
But we hide it.
all I'm saying is that if this place ever actually opens, I'm gonna have my dad shut this down when he's mayor. Like this is ridiculous. This
All right.
place, no one
Did
should be.
Dad talk still, Jeffrey? I thought we talked about this, man.
What?
It's not a good look for you, bro. Like,
Listen,
don't
What, it's
talk
the-
about
it's
all the
about
good
the-
stuff.
It's about the people you know. That's how this life is. It's about the people you know.
If you really liked you, you wouldn't even be here. I'm just saying.
That's not fair. That's not fair. He couldn't. He was in the middle of his race running for
God.
town council.
Guys, can we walk and talk at the same time? I am starving.
I go
Fine.
first, start putting my
What are we doing
clothes on. I'm like,
That's fine.
and we probably got hookworm on top of
Dude, stop with the hookworm.
The hookworm again?
it.
There's freaking snakes. There's bigger things than hookworm to worry about.
You know
Yeah,
what?
what was that? What was that around your leg?
The snake.
Again, we're not walking. I start walking. I'm done talking about this thing. Scooter
So,
is beelining
Jeff-
it.
Jeffrey,
Before we go, I go over to where Jamal stashed the spear gun, and I grab it as I'm following.
Hey, supposed to keep that later. We could have waited till dark and got that.
Dude, snakes like come out of the water onto the land, and if there's one that big, I need something.
so
You want to
Jeffrey,
hide that from Ranger Rick over here? Where we gonna hide it at? You want to put it in your pocket?
Ranger Rick doesn't care. Like he's not even. Look
Just
at
come
these
on.
two.
Come on. Just come on.
He was
We'll-
watching
we'll
these
go
two.
eat.
Look at them.
Just go eat something and,
Yeah.
and figure this out because
So Jeffrey,
Jeffrey.
I need to create the spear gun. So I'll add it to your inventory after I
It's
do
fine.
that.
so Jeffrey, if they're not going to let us go, what are they going to do? Because I think you might be right.
Oh, now I have the answers,
Why do you have to be such a dick?
dude. We're just. This is just a waste of everybody's time. The judge, gets his jollies off on thinking that this is going to work, or I don't know. I'm just used to
that's
everyone
the
around
last
me in
time-
power lying all the time. This is like
That's
a
the
game.
last time I'm going to talk to you. You don't have to be such a dick to me.
Dude, just
Well,
blaze up
listen,
again.
everybody-
Just keep blazing, and then you'll talk to me in a few minutes, and we've done this before.
Everybody just calm down. Let's go get something to eat. We're probably just a little hungry, it's a little hot, a little excitement going on. Let's just eat, get something to drink, and then we got to figure this out because we only got a week.
Tony's not going to go. He's just going to kind of walk
Come
along the
on.
edge. He's afraid to go too deep in the woods, but just walk along the edge of the wood. But he's not going to go hang out with
I catch up,
Jeffrey after that.
I catch up to Tony. Like, Tony, come on. Listen. We know Jeffrey is the biggest tool that we know. Understand that. But
I
right
know,
now, we need everybody together. Okay, I know he's killing your buzz right now. He's killing your. He's harshing your mellow. I understand.
I was trying to be
But that's it.
serious with him.
I know, but he can't help it. This is what money does to you. When you have a lot of money, a lot of stuff, makes you crazy in the head. Does put you in a whole nother bubble of life. But we gotta hold it together. We gotta hold it together. If we fall apart now, we're never going to get any of this list done, or whatever's happening out here. We got to hold it together. So just take a puff. We'll walk together. I think we shouldn't separate. We'll just walk together. We'll go get something to eat, and then we got to find some place where we can at least put our heads down for the night.
Yeah, I'm not sleeping in those buildings.
Well, I'm
You should
definitely
see
not
it.
sleeping outside.
It smells like Jimbo's house.
It probably does. It probably smells like hopelessness and despair. But at the end of the day, I'm not sleeping outside. I can tell you that right now.
Thanks,
So-
Jamal. Appreciate it.
Hey, who saved you from the guy in the yard? It was me.
No.
Two-piece, remember? Bop, bop, bop. That's what we do. We look out for each other.
Sorry
Okay.
about puking all over your clothes afterwards, but
Well,
Yeah.
you did get your ass beat pretty bad there. And I watched him do it, and it was fine because we all sometimes have to learn. We have to take a beating to knock the sense into us. But he was
Well-
going a little overboard. So
who would have thought he wouldn't have liked me talking about his mom and barn animals? I mean, he looks like a
you
whatever.
can't listen. You can't talk about nobody's mom. Okay.
Oh no! Wait a minute. That's half my life is mom jokes.
Well, I understand. I mean, I love the joke when you said your mom is so fat that if you put 2 watches on her, she's in 2 different time zones. That was beautiful.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah. But we can't worry about that right now. Okay. Right now we just gotta let's go get something to eat. Come on, you
All right,
found the
thanks,
pallet?
man.
All right,
Yeah.
come on, let's go.
All right, so Tony, it sounds like Tony and Jamal are going to try to catch up to Scooter and Jeffrey. Speaking of Jeffrey, I know where live Jeffrey is. I know where dead Jeffrey is. Does dead Jeffrey stay at the shoreline?
He does for right now, but he's
Sure.
not going to stay there for long because Tony has plans for Jeffrey.
So the 4 of you get up to the clearing, and Jenkins is sitting on what's left of the front porch area of that counselor house, and he's got his ranger hat off, his beginning of a comb over starting to happen here. No one's going to notice the difference. They all think he's fine. Nobody can tell when a comb over is happening, and kind of the way he's sitting, you can see he's a little distraught. He's got his shotgun across his knees as he's kind of squatted down on this front porch.
So where's that food, Scooter?
Yeah, I'm tempted to ignore Jenkins. Screw him and the horse he rode in on.
Hey, you boys okay? I see all four of you made it up.
We're having a blast. How about you?
Doing good. I thought, hey, keeping watch up here is getting a little exhausting. I thought I'd take a sit down for just a second, but I got Betsy here, so I'll make sure nothing comes down here that we don't expect. But
Are you expecting something?
no, they ain't expecting nothing. But not real sure that they're spiky hair there, boy. I'm not sure you're real good at that swimming thing. I heard you flailing around there, so I'm thinking
Hey.
maybe you don't do a whole bunch of swimmings.
Yeah, don't worry. We're about like halfway done already. So you might as well radio in to the judge and let him know we're leaving on Wednesday.
Oh shit, a radio would have been great. And you see him kind of like reach to his belt, like,
Dude, we don't even have a radio out here. I told you this thing is a sham.
he's like, shit, man, a damn radio would be good.
What's the judge's daughter seeing him?
They must both not be right. I don't know. There's something strange.
I bet she's got 6 legs too.
You know what? Probably.
You
Probably.
probably got a third eye that winks at him at night. You know? I'm just saying.
I bet her mom likes barn animals.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right, so
Well, I'm sorry, Jamal. I'm sorry. It's kind of a habit,
okay.
though, dude.
I understand. I understand.
All right, guys, let's just go get some food. It's right over there. Jeffrey, it's over there in the back of the canteen. Let's go.
it's fine.
Yeah, it's right over there where Jeffrey was.
So the four of you make it to the pallet. We've cut it away. We see all the goodies in there. You got your mess kits. You got something to eat on. Canned meat doesn't need to be heated up, or you don't need heat. The knife, the chef's knife, can be used to open up any of those cans. And we have a little bit of a second breakfast with the four of you just kind of kicking around in that industrial kitchen. And as we eat and finish up, any topics come up?
Remember that time when we were walking back from the yard, and we called what was his name? The CO. And he was sleeping with we caught him in the room with our teacher, Miss Rossi. Remember that pizza? Was that pizza good? Oh,
That was
I
so.
love a slice of pepperoni pizza right now.
Oh,
Man,
that was fun.
that was a good time. Yeah.
She did give us all A's after that. So that was,
Oh yeah.
that helped.
Listen,
Even
that's
me.
why we're out here.
It's amazing what you can get when you blackmail a teacher.
Oh, blackmail is such a dirty word. We just took an opportunity to better ourselves at someone else's expense.
Says my juvenile record, right? But that pizza was damn good. That pizza
The
was
pizza was
that pizza
Yeah.
didn't taste a lot better than this canned meat here. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I had to
this-
take
this,
all your word for it because the only thing I got to do is smell the box because you guys finished it all before I showed up. So
You snooze, you
you
lose.
snooze, you lose. Jinx.
So a good 3 hours have passed through all of this, and you guys have, kind of finished up, and we hear the clank of the spork against the metal cans, and kind of silence falls as you look at each other, and I don't know, there's this tension of now what kind of hanging out between the four of you.
So
Well, let's-
so if we're not doing the boat thing, and you guys said that the counselor's place is a total wreck, what are we doing?
I pull out this judge's list and go, guys, it's maybe the judge knew because this says dust and clean the kids' cabins and the canteen. Maybe the kids' cabins are okay. They just need a dusting and we can have shelter. You know, we went and looked at the counselor's cabin, and he's given us a note saying that we have to make it livable.
Well,
We should have known that that thing was not livable to begin with. So maybe we just go look at these kids' cabins and see if we can get a roof over our head temporarily and some safety from whatever thing was that six-legged freak.
Scooter, it must be the outdoor air, but you're getting smarter by the minute.
Truth be told, I'm the smartest about 15 to 30 minutes after I eat, which is most of the day. Let's not lie. It's most of the day. It's most of the day.
You better keep a sandwich in your pocket then, because we're gonna need that smarts out here.
Oh yeah.
Grab a bag of granola or something.
This is not the first time I've had canned meat in my pockets.
So the
Sounds
four
like
of
a personal problem.
you, four of you kind of tidy up as much as you can, right? This is your lifeline. What's on this pallet is the only chance you four have of staying alive over the next 7 days. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning now. You've been here around 3 hours, and you step out from that loading dock and look to your left and see the first of those kids' cabin. You see the rusty chains of what probably was attached to a swing at some point, kind of a swing set, maybe a little playground type situation. Though again, we see nature trying to get this all back, right? We can see how some invasive weed vines have worked their way up and covered a good bit of the swing set. The first cabin that's closest to you, behind it is a couple outhouses, and the two shower stalls that are there have half doors on them. So if there was kids taking a shower in there, you'd be able to see them from the chest up. The cabin farther down, you can see the shower head, but you can see a full stall, right? So maybe that's the boy showers, the girl showers, maybe kind of the way they got that set up, but they also have the outhouses. And as you kind of were piecing that together and walking towards this first cabin, you see the wood sign in front of the door, and it says, "Welcome to Boys Bunk A, where dreams come true and snoring is the melody." And it's engraved in this kind of this wood sign above the front door. The front door has only got one hinge still holding it. The biggest
Tony,
thing
isn't that the corniest shit you've ever heard?
Biggest thing that stands out though is the tree that has fallen and taken out a good bit of this roof.
Scooter, dust my ass. This sucks. This totally sucks, man.
So it's 33% wrong, right?
Oh,
Jeffrey,
We're the one that has the full shower stalls. I don't like my shirt off in front of people, so I want to go over there.
Jeffrey, I'll never admit this outside this circle, but I'm thinking that you may be on to something. I think we were set up for failure.
yeah, you can't trust anybody, man. You really can't.
Let's head over to the other cabin, huh? Let's go check this one out, because we ain't gonna stay under this big old broken ass tree. So,
Are the farther cabins close to the woods?
So they're all lined with the woods, right? So
That's
all of
what I
these
was
cabins are right on the edge with the woods. And if you were to go past this cabin A towards cabin B, you're walking away from the lake, walking closer to the road.
Okay.
So we're going to work our way to the second cabin.
Yeah.
So you get there, you see the full stalls, the full door shower stalls that I mentioned, a couple outhouses, no playground. And there's a sign above the door here, no tree falling on it. That's good. And the sign above it says, "Welcome to Girls Bunkhouse B, where giggles, secrets, and silly adventures await."
And I thought the last one the corniest thing I've ever heard. I take it back.
Jeffrey, this meets your personality. Let's face it. Come on.
I mean, who doesn't like to giggle?
Yeah, well. You go check it out.
I heard that if you smoke kudzu, it'll make you giggle. Want to try?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jeffrey, why do you have to be so stiff?
There's no way you're going to be able to work for my dad when we get out of this. There's no way. Jamal's got a place. I mean, he's going to need like a bodyguard or something, or, and what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Look, Tony and I are going to we're going to go across country.
Yeah.
Hitchhiking all across the U.S. So
That sounds
I know
like a
how to
great plan.
I know how to
Yeah,
drive
definitely.
buses.
Yeah, you're definitely headed for a milk cart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could go for
What?
some milk right now. I could really go for some milk.
Hitchhiking across the
Sure.
country. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's get in the car with strangers. Yeah.
No, I'm going to drive a bus.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
We know how that worked out last time. So
Yeah.
Hey, admit it. It was hilarious.
is it going to be on fire this time, or
And the bus wasn't on fire. The garage caught on fire, but
technicality?
it was really cool. I wrote
I
my
managed
name
to
and
get the bus
everything.
clear. Yeah.
I mean, literally, man, am I the only guy in juvie that was innocent? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Why
Anyway.
are you here?
I'm about ready to throw
Why
you
are
back
you
in the
here
lake
if
with
you're
the snake,
innocent?
okay?
Why am I here? Because I'm innocent? Because the God-forsaken judge had it in for me.
Honorable.
You
He hates
warrior.
my dad. He hates my dad. That's
Uh-huh.
known in town.
You don't wear your Letterman's jacket to court there, bucko. That's what'll
So-
get you separated from everybody else. You're
Which
instantly
one?
Guilty.
My swimming one? My wrestling one? Which one? Which one should I wear? I don't know. You tell
So
me.
the judge hates Jeffrey. We're Jeffrey's friends. Now we're stuck in the middle of some
The
woods.
judge doesn't hate me. He hates my father. I'm just an innocent bystander.
All right. All right.
Whatever.
Okay. Yeah, everyone in jail is innocent. So, yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
that
done
was-
listening to Jeffrey. I go to open the door into the girls' cabin.
So you open that door and you can see that no tree has fallen on this cabin, but it looks like some repair work has been done on the ceiling. It's a vaulted, rustic ceiling, and all the windows that are broken, the one window in the far back is still intact, but all the other windows in this cabin have been broken over time, and they've all been boarded up, similar to what you saw over the counselor's cabin. Also looks like the roof was repaired, but not repaired by roofers. It's got just kind of this happenstotch wood thing that would stop the rain from coming in, right? No professional fixed this roof. The bed frames are there. They're bunks. They line both the left wall and the right wall. You can see a single bed frame towards the front. Maybe that's where a counselor would sleep that would watch the kids overnight. All the frames are rusted. You wouldn't dare climb onto one. If there were mattresses, they've been shredded. They're all over the floor. The size of them tells you this would be for the bigger kids, maybe, right? So maybe like the 9, 10, 12, 13-year-old girls. You get that same urine smell, that same just animal bathroom feces smell that comes from it. At some point, maybe the walls were painted with maybe murals and stuff, but that's all chipped away and gone. And Scooter, you could swear that the whistling sound that the breeze is pushing through these cracks and these walls almost sounds like little kids laughing.
Who's going to send their kids to this place? Even if we do get it cleaned up.
Unfortunately, this is the most livable spot that we've seen so far. That's what's bad.
Yeah. Well,
Oh my god.
It's all right. The
Okay.
piss smell in here is not half as bad as when I was put in solitary. That was.
You weren't put in solitary.
It was like for an hour. It was like for an hour, and they put the wrong guy in there. It was the other Jeff. Remember
Other
Three
Jeff.
Tooth Jeff? That was the guy that they were supposed to put in, but they grabbed the wrong Jeff.
Yeah, 3-2 Jeff was a bit crazy. Even I wouldn't mess with him.
No.
He had 3 teeth and 2 were in his pocket.
Yeah, and
So,
I didn't want to say.
I'm just saying.
I didn't want to tell the guards that it was
Two of
him.
them weren't his.
Right. So I'm just.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, he
God.
needs to be in solitary. Yeah.
No, it's. I didn't want to say it was the wrong one because then he would have known it was me. So
Yeah. So how was your 1 hour?
anyway, for that 1 hour, it smelled like piss. Trust me. Let's get our
Probably
stuff.
your own.
All right, so
Let's get
I
our
know
stuff.
Scooter's inside here. I've got the other 3 near the door. Or the other.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I'm gonna walk
Well,
in and start
yeah, we're-
using
we're
my
all
going in.
feet to
Let's
brush
go.
out the.
Yeah. Let's
Have
get
we
these,
seen a broom yet, or any tools, or anything to?
Are you serious? You're still trying to clean this place up?
We gotta sleep
Yeah,
somewhere. I'm not
somewhere
sleeping on
to
top of
sleep.
this shit.
I'm not sleeping outside. I can tell you that. So
Yeah,
we
I'm
can
not
just at
sleeping
least get
outside.
the mattresses outside.
And what we see happening, I think, and I'm almost thinking kind of like the musical montage, right, where you're saying, "Hey, we got a roof. If we can clear out maybe some of these bread frames and clear out some of this debris and wood and leaves and tree branches that have blown in here and the torn up mattresses that nobody, there's no mattress to lay on. There's just pieces of mattress all over. If we can clean this up, we might be able to lay the sleeping bags here, and there's only one door in and out, We see the 4 of you start to work on this. Really the first cleanup we've seen our 4 juvenile delinquents do. Everything's as it is expected. Broken glass, shards of wood. Scooter, you're my weird. So you are clearing things out, and you get to the far back corner of this cabin and find that the far back corner of it was already cleared out. You can see for the first time the floorboards that make up the floor of this. And you're not sure what that is, so you kind of get closer to it, maybe get on one knee to look at it. And what you see is a play set, but that's not the right word, because someone has taken twigs and pieces of pine straw and made it look like there's 2 people laying down on their back. And it's tied with string and twigs and these 2 stick people laying on their back. And standing up around these 2 people are 4 other stick figures that are a combination of twigs and leaves and pine straw and vine used to tie. One of them is really tiny, and if the 2 laying down are adults, then this tiny one is maybe 8, like it's a kid, right? And then there's another one next to it, and whoever made this put pine straw on this one, and the pine straw makes it look like it has long hair. Then there's another one that's almost 2 heads taller than the other one standing. And then a 4th one that seems to be holding a twig like a knife. And the way these things are standing, Scooter, all it would take is a rainstorm or a gust of wind to knock the 4 things that are standing over. So this must have been put together not too long ago. Who's going to say it?
And we'll come back next time.
Let's go to credits. We'll be back. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. It the mechanics helped us. They didn't get in our way. And that's while I was teaching the whole time, which I think was kind of cool. Thanks, Brian. I'm glad this is promising in your mind. High expectations, they were met. I'm going to do the last stars and wishes. Let's start with you, Lou. In general, anything stand out mechanically before we get to stars and wishes? Because this is a new system for the channel.
I think because of the 1 in 6 chance of success and having mostly 3s, that's difficult.
Yeah.
Like that's really difficult to get a success. I know technically 50% chance you should have one, but it feels hard every roll. So.
And is that good or bad? Like what's your
in a horror game, I think that's what it needs to be.
Yeah.
I don't think we're heroes. None of us are heroes. We're just here. So I think that's a good thing. I mean, we'll see as we play, but I really think it should be difficult.
So on this channel, for those of you that are new, we do stars and wishes after credits, which is where I ask each of the players, not the characters that they're playing, but the players themselves, what are star moments, right? When did things click for you in the session? What are things that you're going to walk away? And if someone said, hey, what'd you do tonight? And you're like, oh, I played an RPG. And they're like, what happened? What would you bring up as a star moment? So for you, Lou, what is 1 or more stars?
I do like. I actually think it's fun using different dice.
Oh, how so?
I mean, we stare at pips all the time or numbers all the time, and it's not often that you have a game that has its own dice.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that I'm looking at something different. I know that doesn't sound like anything monumental, but that's what I'm feeling right now. It's like, I'm glad I'm looking at these dice.
You're talking to the champion of funky dice. I am one of the people, I love funky dice for the exact reason that you just said, right? Like this could be you need to roll a 6.
So
right?
I like, the talent dice, because you have that chance of 2 successes on a side. I think of that like the Forbidden Lands, where when you roll a D8 or a D10, you can get that double or that triple. I think that's really cool. So.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's a very simple system when you think about it, and I think it would be a very simple. Like I am currently running this offline for a group of new role players, and they got it immediately. I'm rolling grit, then I need to roll a fist. I'm rolling smarts, I need to roll a brain. Right, like it's super obvious the way that it works. Mechanically, mathematically, it's very similar to a year 0. Like there's 1 success on every die, but it's different, and it also has a touch of narrative dice to it, because let's say that I told you, Lou, to roll a smarts roll, and you rolled 5 dice, and they all came up grit. As the director, I have the ability to go, you succeeded. It was a smarts roll, but with all that grit, somehow your muscle allowed you to succeed. You only needed one success. You rolled 4 grit, right? And we figure out together, like, what was it? That wasn't my brains that got me through this. It was my brawn, you know. And I like that. I like that kind of the flexibility. All right. So wishes. What are you wishing for in the next session or two?
Still me. I I think we all want to see Jeffrey get smacked around a little more. I know. I think he needs to be that guy. We all know that guy in the movie. He's
every horror film's
he knows
got
everything. I don't want to see him bite it quick because I think we like to see him smacked around. But hey, we'll let the dice do what they got to do. So,
all right, Kevin. First, let's talk mechanics. Is there anything mechanically? Any thoughts or comments on the mechanics?
I really like the idea of the doom clock because you can see it start to fill up, and I'm really interested to see how that works when we start hitting the quarter hours. So, but every time you add another little drop to that, it stresses me out a little more.
By design. All right. So how about stars? What stood out for you, Kevin?
We're all still trying to figure out who our characters are, but good grief, Jamal and Jeffrey. That was hilarious. I love that kind of interplay between the two. I can swim. I mean, that was hilarious. And, I also liked the point near the end where we were all just kind of reminiscing, because I think that's kind of start giving our characters some depth. So we're not just, cardboard people getting ready to be whatever.
Successfully be freed from juvenile to prison. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're role play. This is the Fixer Upper role playing game.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Three Tooth Jeffrey's my extra guy in case.
That just about made me lose it.
That was awesome.
Oh, so good, so good. All right. So what are you wishing for, Kevin? What would you like to see happen in this game? Either more of something that's already happened or something that hasn't happened.
Yeah, I think kind of like something I mentioned earlier. I want to see the clock. I want to see how it works.
Yeah.
I want to hit that first quarter hour mark and see what happens.
God, I love you as a player, Kevin.
Because, I kind of like it when we start missing rolls, right? Because it starts ratcheting things up and it throws in kinks that you have to think about. Okay, well, that didn't work. Now what? And I love that kind of play.
There's fun and failure. In my favorite types of RPGs, there's fun and failure. Mm-hmm. So I'm with you completely. Troy, welcome to the channel.
Hey, I started watching y'all when y'all did your mothership, and I binged that, and then I started just binging everything, and Craig was like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, I got it on at work, I had on my headphones at work. I'm just binging everything because the tables were so great, and Craig and I talked offline before we over the weekend, and I was just so happy to get chosen for the table. Yeah,
This is long overdue, man. This is long overdue, and it Mothership and Forbidden Lands are the two biggest doors that bring people to the channel as far as actual plays are concerned. For someone, Troy, that has watched beyond that, after you watch Mothership and someone said, "Hey, I just watched Mothership on Third Floor Wars," what would you recommend for their next view? What series do you think is a great second view after Mothership?
I think it's Blades in the Dark, or no, Night Agent.
Oh, Nice Black Agents, the one-on-one.
Yeah, Nice Black. Yes, that was fantastic. I like the I think it's the gumshoe method.
Gumshoe system. Yep.
System, yeah. So yeah, that was my favorite too. But they're all good. Even Blades in the Dark, their intrigue and more things happen when they're not on a mission.
Yeah.
Than when they're on the mission. I'm like, so for me, I I grew up with doing AD&D, and hopefully some of my guys are still on that I played with from high school. And so I'm a D20 guy, but these systems are fantastic, and I love playing. I love the social aspect of playing, even though we're not physically together, we're together.
Yeah.
So I just enjoy this. I love that I've gotten older, so I love the more narrative stuff.
Amen.
I don't have to be brawling every episode or every session. So, but it's real. I really thank you for letting me be part of this table,
dude,
man.
like
Yeah, I know Nick. I played with Nick and Kevin. I've done Aliens. I've been a bear with with Kevin doing Honey Heist. It's just been I played more over the last few weeks than I played like in a long time.
Oh, that makes me super happy. That makes me super happy. And you don't need to thank me. I mean, you have continued the trend of the unknown quantity, the new player coming on the channel and just kicking the shit out of everything and just being fantastic.
I just wanted to keep up with these guys.
Hey, you're making me run, man. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
nervous anymore about bringing new people on from the community. For those of you watching, patrons always get first dibs, and it's very rare that we go outside of the patron community for tables and or for seats at the table. And I don't know what it is about this group and the Discord and everything, but we just got some really cool people. And every time we get a new person that hops on, it's like we've been playing with them for a while. All right, so stars for you, Troy. What worked for you? What clicked? What moments really stood out?
I love that every role is critical. It's not just, hey, oh, you missed. Oh, you got missed in a strange. Oh, guess what? Tick tock, tick tock. So it's like, oh, okay, well, he's asking me to roll, and it's like, damn, he's asking me to roll. and now it's critical. I gotta. You're looking at for the symbols on the dice, and whether you succeed, and like it's just every roll is critical, but it's also narrative. So you can say, like you said, hey, you got it. Tell me what happened, and then it's like, okay, well, this happened. This is why. Like when I got scared of the raccoon cat.
Yep. And what's cool too is just like when you're rolling, you're looking for. If I'm rolling grit, I'm looking for the grit fist, but I'm also looking for luck, and I'm afraid of seeing strange. Right. So there's a lot going on when a roll happens, and if your GM is like me, we're not rolling every 5 minutes. We're rolling when it matters. We're rolling when it's interesting. So I love the extra stakes.
Yeah.
That come into play with that. All right. So Troy, what are you wishing for? So what are you hoping for as a player to happen in the next session or two?
Well, as the brother in the 90s slasher movie, I'm just hoping not to be the first one. Okay.
with Idiot Jeffrey, I think you might be in the clear.
Right. So I'm like, okay, well,
hey, my dad says I'm not an idiot.
But your dad still left you in jail. I'm just saying.
He's teaching me a lesson. He's teaching me a lesson.
Right. So, but yeah, that's my real hope. Is not to be the first one and hopefully be the last.
You want to be the final girl?
I want to be the final guy. Yeah. I just, I wish that we can just keep playing and having a good time, and
that I can guarantee.
And then
that I can guarantee.
See what happens from there.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, Nick. Let's start off mechanics. You have played almost as many games and different systems as I have at this point. Anything mechanically stand out?
This Doom Clock thing is pretty amazing because, Blades, you've got the clock system for stuff that could be good or bad depending on what's going on. And I noticed you've used clocks to help tick towards certain objectives or events. This is something we all visibly see that we glue our eyes to and go, oh crap, I hope we don't tick this on every roll. So it adds that suspense every roll. Kind of reminds me of the web world where we just try to avoid those numbers every time we roll. This is the same thing. It's like crap. So having that in our face and knowing that, hey, when we hit the 3 o'clock position, there's a good chance something is going to escalate, and we're going to be, but there could be minor escalations that we don't know about, and I'm just excited to see what the hell happens. So mechanically, I'm intrigued by that.
Your team Doom Clock.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So stars. What stood out this session?
The Lou and Troy banter with Jeffrey and Jamal. Oh my God, just beautiful. I couldn't ask for just a better seat at the table watching that unfold. You know, I had no stake in it because, you know, we separated the party like idiots, and we were just able to, you know, Kevin and I were just able to sit there and watch and go, wow, this is awesome, just watching you guys hit it at each other. So I love that interaction. You know, I've played with Troy, I've played with Lou, and just watching them two interact for the first time and just hit it off, it was amazing. It was like, I don't know, it was awesome to see.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yes, fun.
Wishes.
I want more opportunities to let the weird fly for Scooter. You know,
We got a lot to learn
succeeding in
about
that-
Scooter.
Yeah, the weird has a lot of cool stuff that I'm excited to let out and see how it lands with the group. And, you know, the character's still evolving as we interact with each other and create and build more bonds with each other. And I have a feeling that this weirdo is gonna go somewhere pretty cool. So I'm excited to see what happens with him.
He's a cool character, and I'm anxious for you to discover him, and then we discover him in the process. I don't know. This just popped into my head. Generally speaking, Lou, when you've played a lot of RPGs, and as someone who's played a lot of RPGs, do you always cheat when you play, or is it just on this stream?
What, the one time I didn't take the die out of the roll?
No. Did you not tick the clock?
I did not tick the clock.
At no point did you fail and tick the clock?
No, I didn't. When I failed, I don't believe I had
You failed a fear check.
Yes.
You tick the clock.
Okay.
When you fail a fear check.
Oh, then we have to put an extra.
Oh,
yeah. I forgot about the fear one.
Will we tell everybody about your flaw real quick?
Yeah. So again, because you totally can't tell because I'm not playing my character right. My flaw is I'm cocky, and every time the Doom clock is ticked for me, it has an extra tick. So
Yeah, he doesn't tick it once; he ticks it twice.
No, yeah, because I know I'm right.
So you guys are You guys are at 4 minutes on the Doom clock, and I literally just remembered that as we were talking about that. and I will tell you, for those of you that I've run, this is now my second time running Shiver. It's very easy. Like, it's really neat, the advantages and the flaws in the character building. It's very simple and streamlined. You can spin up a character in 10 minutes in this system, which I absolutely love. But I will tell you, recommend to your players that they keep their flaws and their advantages in front of them. Maybe even on index cards, even beyond their character sheet. Yeah, because it's real easy to forget them. And they are difference makers, especially the advantages. We saw that with the Deus Ex Machina that we saw Jamal use. And the other table that I'm running offline with this system, I'm seeing them forget it too. And part of that's a compliment because we're getting lost in the game, right? We're getting lost in playing. But that's one thing I will tell you is that they're a big deal here. And it's one to keep in front of you. All right. So this coming Saturday, we've got another episode of our public access game, episode 5 of public access. We're having a ship ton of fun with it. That's where you get to see Nick playing again. You get to see it. Actually, speaking of Mothership, it's the original Mothership cast that's playing public access. So we're having a ton of fun with that. After that, we return at the beginning of the new year on January 2nd, playing a bunch of teenagers in a band. So we're going to play Limelight, and I'm actually not the GM in that game. I am a player in that game. See everybody Saturday.
Yes.
Cheers all.